Hi, hello from Sweden. Thank you very much for taking your time. This is actually the first time we're making a video guide, and we think that this is extremely important to make a video guide because this is a totally new way of presenting layout, and the program Google Sketchup will actually give us a totally new way of working in future project. So, Mr. Lundmark, could you please put up the SketchUp model? Here we go. I will run through this model to show you all the operator effectiveness messages we have put in, and also give you a guidelines how to present this for our future upcoming project. So please, Torbjörn, if you can zoom in the picture and not so much in my face, I would appreciate that very much. And if you can stay steady for a while, and I will go into the model and run through it. Thank you. So when you have downloaded Google SketchUp free program and also uploaded the model we have done, which is clearly visible in our email, the link, you need to have the Google free browser in your computer, otherwise it's not possible to get the scene up like you can see right in front of you. So what you actually are seeing right in front of you is a normal 2D view, and I know that you have seen a lot of layout proposal we have done before in several projects, and the difference right now is before we can provide ABB with fixed, let's say 3D pictures or fixed PDF file, and the customer has the possibility to view the drawing in a fixed format. And I think that's the biggest difference with the layout we can now provide customer in Google SketchUp format. In the future, when we browse proposal we provide in different project, it will be a huge difference. Now you have the possibility to choose, in this case, a zoom tool. You can very easily zoom in and zoom out. You can choose the pan. The pan tools provides you to take you to the left, to the right, upward, downwards in the layout. And we have also a possibility with the orbit tool. This is the three most common tools we are using when we are exploring a 3D layout. But I will give you a very nice training course how to avoid going up and down with these different tools, because it's quite time consuming. So a good rule is to use the scroll wheel. If you have a scroll wheel on the mouse, you can just scroll in and out. That's the same like zooming in and out. And if you push the scroll wheel, you can see that the orbit symbol shows up. And it's very easy to orbit around. And when you push the scroll wheel and the orbit wheel shows up, then it's also just a shift click, then you have the pan tool. So actually, by learning zoom in and zoom out, pushing the scroll wheel button, and then also having the shift key, then you can easily walk around in the layout and explore very easy. The difference we can achieve by using the Google SketchUp format in future project is huge. Now we have learned how to tilt, pan, and also to orbit things, but you can see the customer has very easy also to measure things, and this is also free things in these tools. This is, for example, 1124 millimeter. It's also very easy to change everything to inch if that's required in a project. Let's go back. What is also very new is, for example, that all the product, if we provide a customer with a model, it's also possible for them to interact with the 3D warehouse. So what is the 3D warehouse? When we provide the customer with layout proposal in the Google SketchUp format, we also need to understand that that the Google Sketchup also contain a 3D warehouse, and on the 3D warehouse all our models are available. You can browse, you can search, you can do everything here on the 3D warehouse. And actually I choose to search for the Extended Operated Workplace X3 of some reason, and you can also have a 3D view of that one. You can zoom in and zoom out, and I can tell you, if the EPC contractors and the architect receive this model, they will be very impressed when they go and put the models under the microscope and study them in detail. This is a very impressive model program we have provided on the internet. But when it comes to Extended Operated Workplace, I think it's very important to point out that this is much more than just a motorized operated desk with a professional appearance. The Extended Operated Workplace has unique advantages compared to the competitors. And I would like to highlight that we're really empowering the operator alertness. We improve correct and fast decision making, reduce unnecessary downtime. We attract customer early in project, win strategic customer confidence, and we are actually 3 to 4 years ahead our competitions. So I think with that in our mind, I will also describe one very important thing we made in the due to our involvement with the Goliath project. Let's start that from the beginning. Thank you. Due to our deeper involvement recently with the Goliath offshore project, we now have a study available that clearly tells that the Extended Operated Workplace X concept have much more benefits than a traditional video wall, and therefore we also created a document, and that document is also available to download in our email. So I think this is also important to give away to the customer, because now we can save them a lot of time and cost in project, because the Extended Operated Workplace is a package, and now we have also a CREOP analyze ready, and that's something they ask for in many oil and gas projects, for an example. So I take away that one, and I hope that you also download this report. It will be very useful to show the customer. Enough with technical information about the product itself, and go back to the real layout. I mean, now we can create a lot of attractive 24/7 environments that really prevent operators boredom and fatigue. And it's also important to understand, when we enter project very early, the customer will be very attractive when we create this small footprint of the whole control room building. And I think that's very important to understand. And when you should show the customer this model, it's also very nice to know that this small tab, these small scene boxes up here, is actually very good to use, because then you don't need to jeopardize by scrolling in and out with the mouse wheel and so on. So you can just make a very easy presentation for the customer by choosing, in this case, the overview. So when we're now looking in the overview position, we can understand that we can really attract customer with the Google SketchUp format. And I would like to pay a little bit attention to these small buttons here. Now I push on the CCR button. We can call them scenes, and now we are moving from the overview down to another predefined position. It's quite easy to make new position. I will show that a little bit later, how to do that. But it's very easy. If you don't want to use the normal tool to rotate in the scene when you are showing customer, you can actually make predefined scenes and transport to different areas in the control room. And I also made a special thing to show that actually we can use SketchUp models to make presentation. So if we would like to mention something about the operator effectiveness and the 4 pillars, Then I use a button with 4 pillars. I named it 4 pillars, and then we can describe for the customer different messages. I mean, we can make a lot of more fancy 3D movies, but this we have to understand that this is a very easy tool to let the customer interact with the layout we provide them with. But I just show you it could also be done for a little bit more odd presentation, and when the customer receives this kind of layout, he could get quite curious and browse this kind of predefined areas that we provide from the beginning. So once again, this is just an example how we can use the Google SketchUp and provide good message to the customer when we have done also a free layout proposal for them. This is the last example. I think you can explore the rest of the bottoms by yourself, but this is actually the tactical. The tactical is the multi-touch display where we put all the telecommunication equipment, and actually it's something we are working on right now to implement into the extended operator workplace. I will come back with more details about that product later. So now you know a little bit more about the small tab or scenes we have done in the bar above the actual scene. Actually, we have put a lot of things in this layout, so take your time and explore, and you will find a lot of different kind of message in the layout. And I think it would be a good idea to understand how easy it is to make your own scene. So let's see if we can show something. I think I see the extended operator workplace brochure down there. So let's zoom in to the brochure and tilt or orbit, that's the right word for it. And then you can zoom in, and then we can say that yes, this is quite good. And then move it into that direction, and then I'm satisfied with that one, even if I can fine-tune it even more. I open up the window menu, and then I choose scene. Now there is plus and minus, and actually the tactical is highlighted, and therefore you can see this blue here. So if you just mark the plus button here, and then we can name this one as EUV brochure, then you can see the brochure, and then we can light that down, and now we can see what's happening. Yes, from the tactical we go to the EUV brochure. So now you can done your own scenes, and as you can see also when it becomes to scene, you can move these scenes up and down with this button. And now you can see that it affects. I move the EUV brochure away and I put it in the end of the presentation. That's just an example how to do. We go back to this CCR view once again. It's a very good idea to train and explore this demo environment we built up, because in the near future we will only provide free proposals layout in the SketchUp format. Why? Another benefit with the SketchUp tool is that it is very easy to work both in 2D. Let's have an example. We can easily furnish a layout, create walls, doors, in the same way as we use AutoCAD, for example. And in the same way we work very smooth and easy in the 2D mode. Simultaneously we have the 3D as well. So I think that's one of the most important thing. It is very fast to create discussion proposal, and we can also invite the customer to interact with the model very easy in the project.